Hey team, so I told you I'd make another video on the sub 3 hour marathon topic, and so today's topic I wanted to go over the sub 3 hour marathon taper. And every athlete's different. There are many of you out there that have done 3 week tapers and gotten phenomenal results. So for a lot of athletes, a 3 week taper definitely works. For me personally, I always ran best over a 10-day taper. The reason why that is because at least for me personally, how it worked was you continue to remind your body of what you're training, your muscles and your anatomy to do up until 10 days prior to the main event. You don't start dropping volume until 10 days out, and then also drop intensity. The way I did it is I would drop volume and increase intensity for a few days leading up to the goal race. I think if you start dropping volume and intensity too far out from your main marathon, it can a lot of times it makes athletes feel lethargic and tired, rather than going in really feeling refreshed and recharged and really ready to race. And so again, it's just one of the many things that go into performing great over the 26.2 mile, 42.2 kilometer event. There's so many factors that go into running a sub 3 hour marathon, as I touched on in the last video. I think that you have to be smart mentally. You have to be very smart in your pacing strategy and how fast you're running early on in the race. Again, no one wins a marathon in the first half, so be careful how fast you are going out. If you're in a group and you guys are hitting, or you guys or gals are hitting 6:30s when you're trying to run 6:52, probably too aggressive in the early stages of the race. If you run a few miles too fast early on, don't get so caught up with that. My recommendation is just don't wear a watch at all. If you do wear a watch, don't look down at your splits. There's going to be time clocks out on the course. There's going to be volunteers out on these races that are going to yell out your splits anyways. I think if you've done your homework in training and you have trained properly and run, and what I mean by that is spent sufficient time running down closer to around 520 to 530 mile pace, not only is that going to make your goal race pace of 6:52 mile pace or 4:16 kilometer pace feel less aggressive, you're more than likely, and you've tapered down correctly, doing a 10-day taper rather than a 3-week taper, more than likely you're going to be running in the race and feeling as if you are on a moderate long run. It's not really going to hurt if you've done everything correctly. It's not really going to severely start to hurt until really the last 10 kilometers of the race. No matter how fit we are as athletes, middle distance to long distance runners, it's gonna hurt trying to run at race pace for a race of this length, and especially in the latter stages. Sometimes athletes, I've run a few marathons. Really, when I ran 219, I didn't really start really hurting bad until the last 5K in that race. I was at 1:44:05 at the 20 mile mark. Comes out to around 5:11 mile pace. But the last 5K of that race, I was really hurting bad, and I started running like 5:40s and 5:50s, to average out at 5:19. So you do have to expect the fact that even if you're in phenomenal shape, you've done everything correct, you've done a proper taper for a sub 3 hour marathon, that you are going to experience the difficulty of trying to finish a marathon when you've spent such a long period of time in the race, running at such a high a high heart rate, you're going to be running close to, right around, or just above your anaerobic threshold for while you're in the race. So that's why I always preach on this, to get your tempo run out from, early on when you first start doing it, at least the way I do my training plans and running courses. Start off right around 3 miles for a tempo run. Early on, that's going to be tough, because you're not anaerobically fit. It takes time for the body to adapt. But later on, we start focusing on longer tempo runs, branching out, from around 8 miles out to around 15 miles in length. That will make you extremely strong for a sub 3 hour marathon, because again, you're spending more time training at that point where lactic acid starts to build up. And again, as you get fitter anaerobically, you can run for a longer duration, and your heart rate is going to be right around the same, heart rate as you did when you first started your training block, but your paces per mile and per kilometer are going to be so much faster because you're going to be in such greater shape. But again, how you taper down is key too, because all of the rest, all the benefits from your hard work come from within the rest. That's why I always preach the importance of jogging, forgetting about pace on your easy days. Make sure that you are jogging, taking it easy, not disregard pace, even take off your watch. If you know the distance of your course that you're running for those easy days, then focus on that, but don't worry about pace. If you had a few young kids running next to you and running past you on those easy days, that's probably the proper pace. I trained with sub 210 marathoners over the years that would go out and run 9 to 10 minute mile pace with me. We were just jogging out on, for their easy days. But when it came to running hard, we would be doing mile repeats in the 430s to 440s at altitude, or doing, Gilbert Ruto is an example. He's from Kenya, great athlete. I think he has around 208 or 209 for his personal best. And we did the goal workout was to run for an hour, running 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. It was a fartlek workout. And I wasn't, this was in college. I wasn't able to hold that effort for that long with him, but I was able to run about 40 minutes with him. But the hard pace was running sub 5 minute mile pace, and the easy pace for the following minute was right around 620 to 630 mile pace. So extremely aggressive, very hard running, and doing, the hard tempo runs with these athletes. Always focus on getting out of your comfort zone, so that again, you make goal race pace feel easier, and that once you get to the race and you've tapered down correctly, there's nothing anybody in that race is going to do or try to throw at you that you have not already encountered in training. Always make training the most difficult part, but tapering down is absolutely critical, because again, the greatest benefits of your hard work that you're putting in today are going to be seen weeks from now. Okay, so and paying attention, I think if you're paying attention to your easy days and being just as serious about that as you are about doing your tempo runs, your track workouts, your hill repetitions, doing those long runs over hills, faster pace long runs, easy long runs, so that you can recover from the harder pace long runs I talk about in other videos, you are going to set yourself up for success to break a sub 3 hour marathon. Very aggressive pace, very fast time, 2:59:59 or faster. Props to anybody that can do that, because I mean, even in my own career, I only did that a few times. All the marathons I ran, most of the marathons I ran were well under 3 hours, but breaking 3 hours is a huge task. And I love hearing from athletes that leave comments on these videos that said, hey, I followed something that you did, and I went out and ran a 2:55, or I ran a 2:35, or I get these responses. It really fires me up. So definitely continue to let me know how your training's going, because it not only fires me up, but other athletes that are here on the channel get to see and get to hear about your training and what you're doing that's impacting your performances, and that's helping you get to the next level. Tapering down, definitely consider a 10-day taper rather than 3 weeks. Again, it's not a guarantee that you'll break 3 hours. I can't guarantee that. I'd love to, but again, there's a lot of things that go into a 2:59, not just the taper, but a taper is critical. Don't start dropping your volume and your intensity too many weeks out from your main marathon. Continue to train, continue to remind your legs of what you're prepping them to do, and then 10 days out, try it out, see how you do. I think you're going to make some huge impacts. I think you're going to drop a great deal of time off of your personal best if you've trained properly and you've tapered down in the correct way. A lot of athletes probably never heard of a 10-day taper. Just for me personally, like I said, I set personal best 14:18 5K, 50:54 for the 10 mile, 31:09 for 10K, 107:06 for the half, and 2:19 for the marathon, all doing a 10-day taper. So again, I had to do the hard training. The taper in and of itself is not the be-all end-all of this process of breaking a 3-hour marathon. You have to train much faster than 6:52 mile pace. Get that pace to feel, like I said, a moderate effort. That way, when you get to the really difficult portions of the race, especially in that last 10K, you're going to be able to really turn it on when most athletes are going to be slowing down because they're so tired. And again, you've done all the other things correctly that go into running a great marathon. Hydrate well, make sure you're getting plenty of rest leading into your training buildup. You can't just you can't just focus on one aspect of your training, just the hard track sessions or doing long runs. It's all the things that you're doing on and off the track, the other hours of the day, that are going to make the difference between you running 3:09 and running 2:59 or faster for this distance. So I hope this video on the sub 3 hour marathon taper and what I suggest is helpful to you. If there's any other questions you have, leave me a comment below the video. If you're brand new to the channel or if you're a regular viewer, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. And if you can, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It always helps the channel grow and the YouTube algorithm, more athletes around the world to see these videos, because I'm sharing what I've been taught from some really phenomenal people, some great coaches, some great athletes that took me to the next level, got me out of my comfort zone on a regular basis. And for somebody that had a minimal amount of talent, in my case, to go out and do what I did, is a testament of those great athletes and great coaches that told me, hey, you need to follow this plan. You need to do this each day, each week, each month, and stay consistent. And yeah, definitely I give props to them because they deserve it, and so I'm giving back and making these videos, and I hope they're impactful. They're not perfect. There's nothing special about my videos. I just sit here and talk in front of camera. Video editing and all the extra things that go into it. Maybe for down the road, I'll continue to improve upon the channel. But right now, I'm really wanting you guys and gals to get the information, and hearing from somebody that possibly has done something that you're trying to do, I hope is motivating to you. So wish you all the best. I will talk to you in the next video, and continue to train hard, focus on that sub 3 hour marathon pace. I'll talk to you in the next video.